Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahushai,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Blessed be the true, holy, powerful, and mighty name of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and blessed be the true, holy, powerful, and mighty name of His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, which is our Lord and our Savior. Give double honors to the elders of Israel, which is the elders and the apostles of great millstone that rule well. Shalom Wahab Labakiyar Shoyah Sharala, which is peace and love to the elect of Israel. Come back at you again with another lesson, Bahara Kakodash Shah Amaf and the Holy Spirit of Truth. And this is just going to be an update on the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, Baba Kushaf, we can start off with that in Revelations. All right, because as this prophecy intensifies, or as we see this prophecy making itself more manifest, that shows you that we're closer to the end. Because as the apostles always say, that's one of the major prophecies that we're waiting on. And the mark of the beast and World War III, they go hand in hand, as we're going to go into in Revelation the 14th chapter also, Lord willing. But without further ado, we're going to hop right in the scriptures and let the Spirit do what it does.
It's Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right, and that he that is talking about the so-called white man, specifically the elites, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the elite bankers. Okay, they're the rulers of this world. The scriptures say in Job 9 and 24, it says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who covered the faces of the judges thereof? The so-called white man. So if it's not him, then who is it? Okay, so the he that is talking about the elites of this world. They're trying to set up the new world order. That's why on the back of their dollar bill it says in the Latin Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means new world order. And a part of that new world order, they're gonna crash the dollar. They're gonna crash the U.S. currency, and they're gonna bring in the microchip. Okay, and with this microchip, you're gonna be able to buy or sell, and they're gonna force everybody to have it. It's already here in America. Okay, a company in Wisconsin, all right, called Three Square Market, chipped over half of their employees. And with that chip, what are they doing? They're buying and selling. Okay, and then they got these other so-called perks, or these other so-called benefits of you can get into the building faster, or you can get into your computer, all these little things. And they're gonna add more benefits so that when they present it to you, you're gonna take it willingly. And if you don't take it willingly, they're gonna put you to death. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Now, when you go into that word mark, it goes back to the Greek word charagma, which means an incision, something that's going to be inserted into you. That's what that microchip is, okay? Who's the main ones that's pushing that? It's the men of great millstone, starting with the apostles and the elders. The apostle Tahar, all right, the top prophet on the earth, the leader of Israel, all right, his page is called, what is the 666 mark? Now, if you ask that same question to some of these other camps, they're going to give you an answer outside of this fucking world. That doesn't even make sense.
666 men that rule the world.
Right. And then yesterday, we was at this little carnival fair thing or whatever out here, and we seen this dude, this Edomite. He had a barcode on his neck. It was tatted on him. It was a tattoo of a barcode, okay, which is basically symbolic for being a product. Okay, as we was conversating yesterday, he looks like a product, because on every product you have a barcode. Or even on if I still had my the cover to my apocrypha, it would have a barcode on it. Anything that you buy, you go to the grocery store, you buy a pair of shoes, the shoe box is gonna, or if you go to the shoe store and buy a pair of shoes, the shoe box is gonna have a barcode on it. If you go to the grocery store and buy a carton of orange juice, it's gonna have a barcode on it. So what the so-called white man is trying to do, he's trying to insert the microchip in you, okay? Which, when we read on, it says here's the number of his name, which is 603 scoring 666. The UPC code, which is the barcode, it has what? Each line, the front line, the middle line, and the last line, it all stands for 6666. It's a barcode. So a part of that chip is going to be a barcode to where you can scan and make transactions.
That's the technology that's within it. You know, because the brother, he said what? UPC. Now, UPC stands for Universal Product Code. You see? And with this, when they scan it, it pops up on the screen when it was shipped in, you know, how long it's been there on the shelf, you know, when it was manufactured, how long, you know what I'm saying? They got the information all within that barcode. So it's the same technology that's going to be used in this in the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip.
That's it, because Baba Kushar, could you read on?
Yeah. This is verse 17, Revelation 13, verse 17. and that no man might buy or sell.
So without this mark, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. Right now, it's being presented as voluntary. Like prime example, that company in Wisconsin, they presented it to their company, and it was voluntary to where you can either accept it or you can decline it. But pretty soon, it's going to become involuntary. It's going to become mandatory to where if you don't take this chip, you're not going to have a job. To where if you don't take this chip, you're not going to be able to buy or sell, which means you're not going to be able to eat or drink.
Yep. You can't function in society without it, man.
And that's when faith is going to kick in. It's called the hour of temptation, okay? Which is going to come upon the whole world. What's going to come upon the whole earth, okay? We're going to be tempted with that, okay? If we don't take this chip, we're going to start losing our jobs, man, all right? Which means if we don't have a job, then we can lose our house or we can lose our car, whatever it may be. If we don't have that chip, we're not going to be able to eat. But we have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that his servants is going to eat, that his servants is going to drink, that his servants is going to rejoice when everybody else is weeping and gnashing their teeth. Okay?
Yep. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Right. His number is 666. Okay, which is 666. In the Greek, that last six is chi, kasai, and stigma. That last six is the Greek, goes to the Greek stigma. And when you go into that word stigma and look up synonyms, it means a puncture, all right, of a pointed instrument, which is the syringe that they use to inject the microchip within you. Also, when you go into that word stigma, it means to be branded, right? It means to be branded, showing that you are owned by somebody. So when you take that RFID chip, you're saying that you are owned by the elite bankers, making you a product. Going back to UPC, Universal Product Code. So you getting that RFID chip, you getting that microchip, is making you a product, making you a slave.
Hey, because you already a product.
Yep.
You know? Yep. You're already a slave based off what? Your social security number.
Yep.
You see, when you are born, they say what, man? You have a birth certificate.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing when a ship goes into a canal. It says what? It's birthing. Mm-hmm. You see? So birth and birth is a play on words, man. So once they get that manuscript of everything that's within that ship, where they got the weight of the ship, they got the products that's all on it. That's what's on that birth certificate once the ship docks. Well, it's the same thing once you're born into this place. You come down a birth canal, the same thing, you being born into this system.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, on your birth certificate and on your social security, it has your name in all caps. I forget the exact term for it. I want to say straw man, right? Yeah, it's called straw man. It's in all caps because you're just a product. An actual name is supposed to have one capital letter being the first letter, and the rest of it's supposed to be lowercase. That makes you a human being. That makes you an actual person. But what's written in their constitution, that we are only 3/5 of a human being. We're only 3/5 of a man. So that's why in their eyes, it was looked at as justified when when the diaspora was happening, when they were selling us all across the world. Because we wasn't looked at as a person. We wasn't looked at as a human. We was looked at as a product. So it's the same thing happening all over again. It's the new form of slavery. It's slavery. It's captivity modernized. Back then, they put a yoke of iron around your neck, a yoke of iron around and shackles around your ankles and upon your wrists. They don't have to do all that now. All right. It says that knowledge shall increase. Okay. Even in this worldly aspect, look how the technology is. Look at the level of technology. They don't need to put shackles on us anymore. They don't need to put a yoke of iron around our neck. They can easily just put this small microchip within our body that can control us, that can track us, that can navigate us everywhere we go, which is the mark of the beast that we're reading about in Revelation, the 13th chapter. And it says what? The number of his name, the man that created the UPC code, his name is Joseph George Lara. George Joseph Lara. All right, and each one of his names, his first name, his middle name, and his last name, each consists of 6 characters, man.
I got the information for you. But you had quoted about that Greek word stigma. This is Galatians 6:17. It says, from henceforth let no man trouble me. This is Paul speaking. For I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Now you go into that word marks in the Greek, it's the Greek word stigma that the brother was going into. It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. Yep. So it's letting you know that what? It's an actual incision. It says, to ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, which says cut, into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to.
Yep.
And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods, man.
Okay.
So that's a sign of saying what? That you are a slave, that you are a servant of Esau Edom if you take that mark, man.
Yep.
If you take that chip. You see? Because
That's it.
the Greek word is karakma, but it goes to the root word karax, which means what? A pale or palisade. You see? Now, when you put a pale in, you marking your territory, man. You putting that pale. So it's the same thing when Esau Edom is going to implement this chip. If you take it, hey, you saying that you belong to Esau,
Yep.
you know?
This is Exodus 21:2. It says, if thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve. And in the 7th he go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So there's a law on having a Hebrew slave. It said really it's like more of like an indentured servant. Verse 4, it says, if his master gave him a wife and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. So if he came in as a slave by himself, and then the master, all right, his master gave him the women, and then she ended up bearing him sons, though that woman and those children, all right, still belong to the masters. He still owns them. Okay. It says, if his master gave him a wife and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. And that's what a lot of you Israelites is going to say here in America. I love this life. I love America. I love my job. I love my family. I love these trannies walking up and down the street. I love going to Walmart and McDonald's and baseball games and shit like that. So what are you going to do? Let's read on. Verse 5, it says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master. And that's you Israelites, man. You love the so-called white man, okay? You love Esau Edom, okay? Like we was watching the apostles earlier. All these Israelite camps that's talking about the heathens can make it, the Gentiles can make it. They ain't trying to save Moab. They ain't trying to save Ham, all right? They ain't trying to save Ammon or Ishmael. The main people that they trying to engraft into this is Esau Edom, okay? It says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, meaning what? He's willing to be a perpetual slave. He doesn't want freedom. He wants to continue his servitude to his master. Verse 6, it says, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Shall bore his ears. So that's basically go to the pale that the brother was talking about. When you pale something, that's marking your territory. It's the same thing with the slave. All right, to mark your territory, you brand them to show everybody that that's yours, that is your property. Yep. So in the ancient days, we would do that with what? With the board that you put in your ear. That would probably have your signet on it, or something symbolizing that person belongs to you.
Yep.
And he wants, and it said what? That he shall serve him forever, man. Okay? So that's the same thing the so-called white man's trying to do.
Hey, the same thing with cattle. Like they'll brand their cattle. They'll put their initials on their cattle to know that they belong to them. Well, the elites, he called you the Yiddish word, because it ain't Hebrew.
Goyim.
They call you Goyim.
Yep.
You see?
Cattle.
Which means cattle, man.
Yep.
You know? Which in the pure Hebrew is Goyim, which simply means nations. You know, Gentiles, you know?
Yep. And then last night was real spiritual, you know, because wherever you go, as long as you keep your spiritual eyes open, the Lord will give you some edification, man. You know, so last night we seen this Edomite. This dude had a barcode tattooed on his neck, showing you that he was just what? A product. He was looked at as property. Then also, the only way that you can make transactions is by having a wristband. In order to get that wristband, you have to go to a machine, put your money in it, so that basically it'll put points on your wristband. And the only way you can make transactions, say you wanted to play a game or get on the ride, the only way you can do that is by having that wristband. That's something new. It's basically, it's called the Iowa State Fair. We have it every year. I haven't been there the past few years, but the last time I went, they didn't have that shit. You want to play a quick game or something, get a shorty something, you can go up there, give them the $5. But now you walk up with your money. We're not taking cash. You got to go get a wristband. And what? The wristband is on your arm. Majority of the people, they're right-handed, so they're putting it on their hand. Really, it doesn't matter which hand you got it on, okay? When it says, shall receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, if you got the chip anywhere in your body, you go on the way to fuck off, and there's a judgment that come with that, man. But nonetheless, the point still stands that in order to make transactions, in order to buy anything at the carnival, you had to scan your wristband, man, okay? So that's what the society is reaching towards. The dollar is going to collapse, and this society is going to go cashless. And once it goes cashless, the new form of currency is going to be electronic, being the microchip, where they're going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark, that incision within their body, so that you can buy or sell and amalgamate yourself into the new world order. Okay? So, did you have a precept?
Yeah, no, okay, I got this little article just based off what you were saying. This is the article from allure.com. It says human microchipping is here and it's about to rock your skin's world. It says by Lauren Savini, March 26, 2018, right? So this is a couple months ago. It says the signs have been there for a while. Phones went from being tethered to your wall to fitting into your back pocket. Computers went from desks to laps. Headphones went from over the ear to inside the ear. If there's a trend in technology, it is this: go small, smaller still, even smaller than that. Devices may start disappearing altogether. In fact, in the very near future, because of microchipping, our technology will literally be a part of our skin. It starts with the microchip. Your pet probably already has one, but the technology has very different applications for Tuesday the cat than it does for humans. Pets, microchips help identify them if they get lost. For us, microchips will make life more convenient. You see, and that's how they're pushing it, man. To make it seem like it's easier, more convenient, and instead of having your social security, your ID, your birth certificate, and all that together, car keys, hey, it's gonna be all in your, right there on your hand, able to access everything by the swipe, Instead of having you got your car keys on the thing, you got your house keys, you got all these different keys that you got. Hey, it's all gonna be what? Yeah. On the microchip, man. Yeah. They're trying to add you into the Internet of Things. Yep. Okay. Yep. It's basically it's like the movie Click with Adam Sandler. It's like the remote that does it all. All right. The remote, it controls the Xbox, the DVD player, the VCR player, the TV, the fan, this, that, and the third, the garage door, all that stuff. That's what the microchip basically is. They're putting all their eggs into that basket, okay? They're putting all their eggs into that basket, and they're gonna spend a lot of money for that technology to be pushed out there. When Esau spends money on something, he's really taking that serious, man. As we was talking about last night, I believe Esau's grandson, okay, which I believe would be Amalek's son, his name was called Eliphaz, all right? And when you go into the Hebrew and the definition of it, that was Amalek's father.
Amalek's dad. Okay, It's Amalek's father. So his name, which is a descendant of Esau, his name means my God is gold, man. Okay, that's why on the dollar bill it says in God we trust. What God is that talking about? Okay, it's not. It definitely ain't the God of the Bible, because the God of the Bible condemns this world, condemns America, condemns this country. Okay, that God that is talking about, some people say it's an acronym: gold, oil, drugs, or gold, oil, diamonds. Really is drugs, man. Okay, that's what all the wars is about. It's all about money. It's all about oil. Okay, resources, and they say all wars is bankers' wars. All right, and that's how we know that we're in the midst of World War III right now, through these tariffs that's happening, because that's affecting these countries' money. When Donald Trump put tariffs on China, that's affecting their money, and instantly that day, China rebutted and responded with putting tariffs on America. Okay, so it's affecting. It's gonna, and you people are gonna start feeling it. You don't feel it right now, but when you start feeling it, you're gonna wake up to the fact that that you've been in the midst of the prophets, man. Because starting with our apostles and the elders, we've been telling you about this. We've been pushing this, and we constantly going in week after week, day after day about these scriptures, about these prophecies, man. Okay? Did you have more on that, Art?
Yeah, a little bit more. It says the Swedish incubator Epicenter began microchipping its employees in 2015, not to track bathroom breaks or productivity, but to give them the power to operate printers and more.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're doing that other shit too that they're saying that they're not doing.
Yeah, oh, of course. Of course. Of course it's tracking your ass, man.
Yeah.
But Esau gonna tell you no why, cause so you don't feel threatened, so it don't invade your privacy, which is already too late, man. Here it is, they already recording off the phones, they're already tracking your phone. You can turn the GPS off your phone as much as you want. They still know where your ass at, man. They can access the microphone and hear what you're saying. They can access your camera and see where you at. You see what I'm saying? So Esau already into your personal life, man. You know?
He just wants to get even more personal by putting into your body, man.
So because now, like for instance, man, you got the backstreet mechanics. You know, you got the nigga woman that do hair, sell candy out her house and shit, man. Hey, Esau ain't seeing none of that money that's exchanging hands in during those transactions, man. So guess what? If everything switched from being cash to digital, guess what? Now everything is tracked on that chip. Now Esau seeing every dollar that's exchanged. You know, now he taxing on everything, man. You see?
And that's one of his main goals, because the only reason why, and this was some Edomite exposed, I forget his name. It was probably Nick, forget his name, but nonetheless he was having an interview, and basically they was going in on the liberation of women, he's saying that wasn't to make women equal. You know, the reason why he did that was two reasons: so that he can so that the so-called white men, the elites, okay, so that he can tax the rest of the population and destroy the family structure, man. Destroy the house system. Because now that the woman is out of the house, what are they going to do with the kids? Now you have to put the kids, the children,
in your food system.
In the food system. In the indoctrination system.
You got to take them to daycares. You got to take them to kindergarten, and you know.
So now it's no longer the mother and the father that's raising the children, but it's the government. It's Esau Edom.
Why they making money off both parents going to work, man?
That's it.
You know?
It's a perfect plan. This is a good-ass devil that we dealing with, man.
He's raw as fuck, Joe.
But we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. He's being exposed. Now, these certain things that we are saying, all right, this information that we're bringing out, a lot of people is put to death bringing this information out, man. It's called whistleblowers, okay? People behind the scenes that know this information and they push it out there. After they push it out there, the next month they dead or they blacklisted. You never hear about them again, okay? But you can't touch us because we the prophets of the Lord. The scriptures talk about you Edomites being exposed and made naked, being consumed by the Spirit of the Lord's mouth, man. And we the Spirit of the Lord, we the Lord's mouth, okay? Like it says in Luke 1:70 that the Lord spake through the mouth of his holy prophet since the world began. All right.
It says the tiny, and they always use this right here. That's how you know this is a part of they whole setup. You know, it says the tiny grain of rice sized RFID. Now, when you hear them always talk about this, what do they say? Oh, it's so small, like a grain of rice, and you know, that's that bullshit that they pump out, man. So you to be like, oh yeah, it's small, so it ain't too big or bulgy, you know.
Like it's not gonna get in the way. It's nothing. It's nothing too big of a deal. And like they saying it's not gonna track you. But the whole reason why you putting in the animals is to what? To track them. And what do they do with the animals? This is common knowledge that they test everything on animals first before they implement it on the humans, man. You know. And in Revelation, well, I'm finished this and just we get to it. It says the tiny grain of rice size RFID radio frequency identification chip opens doors with a wave of your hand in front of a chip reader. And at Pause Fest and Australian Tech Expo, 10 VIPs volunteered to swap paper tickets for implanted microchip ones. Imagine an eternal key fob, man. So they just making it more cool, sound cool, making it sound like it's a way of convenience. It's the new wave. It's like the new iPhone. You know, and everybody's gonna get in line for that. It's gonna get to the point where you can't have a phone unless you have the chip, man. Because like they got the fingerprint scanner to and they got all this technology that's on your phone. They're trying to put it into your hand, man. That's why it's getting closer and closer. Okay. Now you got the Apple Watch, man. You can talk on it. They're going to be able to talk on your hand. All right, that's what I believe. They're going to try to put all this technology into your body. Okay, and as it's saying in this article, they're giving you all the benefits of it. Okay, you can do this with it. Like you look up other articles. If someone has any type of brain problems, all right, or brain disorders, it will help their cognitive function. Okay, so that's a benefit. Someone that has any type of disorder, say you have ADD, you want to get rid of those problems, you're gonna willingly take it. All right, or people that have people that have dyslexic or this, I forget the exact terms, but they said anybody with the brain disorder, primarily, let's say someone has Down syndrome. Okay, you're taking care of someone that has Down syndrome, and in the article that I read, it says that people with Down syndrome, they like to wander off. They're curious, they like to wander off. So in order for you to not lose them, you put the chip in them so you can track where they go, so that you'll never lose them. Same with children. Okay, like here in Iowa, you have all these people coming up missing. In the past 10 days, well, now it's probably been 15 days, you have over 50 people that has gone missing. All right, over 50 people that has gone missing, probably being sold into sex trafficking, because a lot of them is women. But in order to avoid that, what are they going to do? Take the RFID chip. We can track where you're at. Okay, they're putting out the benefits of it. Or if you have diabetes, if you have diabetes and you have to take an insulin shot all the time, what do? And sometimes you might forget. You get the microchip, and that's what these females do. That's what these women do with with birth control. Usually they have to take a pill. Okay, they take a pill every day, but since they're so simple, they forget. They tend to forget. So what do? They take a step up, and there's this birth control called Explanon, all right, which is inserted into your arm, and you don't have to take no pills. You don't have to remember to do none of that. All right, it's just in your skin. It's in your body. It's inserted in you. All right, which is pretty much almost damn near like a form of the chip. The only reason why it's not the chips because you can't buy or sell with it, man. But that's gonna be all amalgamated into that one tiny one tiny microchip that's the size of a grain of rice, man. But go ahead, Doc.
This is Revelation 13, just to back the brother up on what he was explaining. Revelation 13 and 14. It says, I started 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And what? That's him developing these bombs that he dropped on these different people. You see? It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live, man. So those miracles, you know, those things that this devil was able to do in the sight of these people, man, is what the brother was just explaining. You know, people being blind, they get that chip inserted in them, now they're able to see again. People that's deaf, able to hear again, man. People who missing limbs, they get robotic limbs, and now they're able to move them and do things with the chip that's inserted in them, man. You see? This is all the miracles that this devil is going to be doing, man. The phone we have, us going live right now, man, this is considered a miracle, man. You see? And all these people is following after what? The image of the beast, this lifestyle, you know? That's why they it's all about what? The American way, that Western mind state, man. That's why Esau Edom pushes his philosophy, his democracy all over the world, man. You see? Putting what? His food, his fiat system upon everybody, man. That's how he wins them over with that money, you know? Well, with that fiat, because it's not money, man.
Yep. And the brother GMS Kwame Asharala, he's going into the same thing you was going into. It says Esau using implants that are helping paralyzed people move again. That's the miracles, man.
Yeah, that's the brother Yasharala. Shalom to all you brothers on the live feed.
Yep.
You know,
go ahead, Doc.
Because it speaks about what? All these miracles and benefits that you're going to get from it. But they don't talk about what? The side effects that you get from it, man. This is Revelation 16 and 2. It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth.
Yeah, and this is the main side effect that matters. Because it's called RFID chip, radio frequency identification chip. So you're gonna have constantly them radio waves coming into your body, which causes cancer.
Right.
That's why when we was young, your mom told you what? Stay away from that microwave when you putting in food in there. Why? Because there's waves that causes diseases, that causes cancer. Okay, so it's the same thing. So you're pretty much inserting a fucking microwave
Yeah.
in your damn hand.
Hey, because what they say your body is 75, 80% water.
Yep, yep.
Now, waves
Uh-huh.
affect water.
Yep.
Like they did studies on that.
Vibrations.
You know,
Yep.
vibrations of the water and shit, and it could disrupt the water.
Uh-huh.
So why would you put that shit inside your body,
Right,
man?
right, right.
They let you know that these 4G, these frequency towers and shit,
Uh-huh.
they fuck with your sleep. They fuck with your body and fuck and,
Yep,
and
yep.
you know what I'm saying? Why would you put that inside your flesh, man? You see?
It's already bad being around us, having this phone in our pocket all the time, man.
Yep.
All right, having this phone in our pocket, that could cause tumors, man. Okay? Those are side effects that a lot of people's not going to take into consideration. But fuck it. This is the main side effect that you have to be worried about. The judgment that comes with it, man. Go ahead.
It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
Yep.
You see? So, hey, man, like the brother was speaking about, cancer, different tumors arising, boils in your body and shit, man, and ultimately you gonna have your part in the lake that burneth with fire, man.
Got it. Revelations 14 and verse 8. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And so that shows you that this place has to fall. This Babylon that is talking about, by this time, this is John the Revelator speaking. By this time, ancient Babylon fell and never arose again. So he's talking about a new Babylon. That new Babylon is code name for America. That new Babylon is AKA also known as here in America. So what John the Revelator seen, he's seen this place collapsing. He's seen this place being burnt up with fire and brimstone, as the prophecy says. It says, verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right, receive his mark, okay? Going back to the Greek word, charagma, it's talking about the microchip. So if you receive that microchip, what is the side effect? Fuck all the benefits. What is the side effect of that? What is the judgment of receiving that mark? Verse 10, it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation means righteous wrath. So if you get that mark of the beast, you're going to feel the righteous wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yep. It says, and he shall be tormented. So go ahead and get that microchip so that you can buy yourself for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. It's not going to be long after. After that microchip is forced upon this world, okay, it's not going to be long after when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua brings destruction upon this place. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Holy Lamb. And where is that fire and brimstone coming from? That fire and brimstone is coming from intercontinental ballistic missiles, which is all they're talking about in this World War III, which is going to be the main weapon that's used in this Third World War. All right? So that shows you that the mark of the beast and the World War III, that they go hand in hand. All right? If you're not hearing too much about the mark of the beast in the media, all right, but you're hearing a lot about the World War III, just know that they're both escalating. Okay, maybe it might get a little quiet about World War III, which it's not going to, but you're hearing a lot about the microchip. That means they're both escalating because they go hand in hand. All right, you can't have one without the other, because once that RFID chip, that microchip, which is the mark of the beast, is implemented, that's how you know the missiles is coming quickly after that, because that's the judgment for taking the chip, you know?
Yep. And that's why Isaiah 33 and 6 says what, man? Now, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. That's why it's of the utmost importance for you to get this while it's hot now, man. You know, Isaiah 55 says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Because we coming into times where, man, it's like none other, as it says in Daniel the 12th chapter, as Yahweh Shah said in Matthew the 24th chapter, man.
Yep.
You see?
And the Lord is going to draw back his prophets, man. Okay? Which if he draws back his prophets, that means he draw back his voice. And if he draw back his voice, that means the doors of repentance is closed. Because how can they hear without a preacher? So if the Lord takes all his preachers, his prophets, his pastors away, okay, then how are you going to get this truth? How are you going to get this faith? How are you going to build yourself up the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that's going to keep you stable?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. This is Isaiah 10 and 20. It says, it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. So you ain't gonna rely on this goddamn devil, man. You see, you ain't gonna rely on Esau, Edom. Your faith, your trust, that word stay goes back into a trust, man. A support. Your support, your trust gonna goes into what? Yahweh Basham Yahushai and the words that he left us, man. This is where our comfort lies. This is where our support lies, man. You see? Sirach 2:10. Look at the generations of old and see whoever called on the Lord and was forsaken. Roughly paraphrasing. You see?
That's it.
It says,
that's where our faith lies, man.
Yep.
Right? When they present us with that chip and they say if we don't take it, they're gonna try to behead us, all right, or try to kill us, man. Do what you gotta do, okay? And as you doing it, we're gonna be calling upon the name of the Lord. We're gonna have that same spirit as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when the king Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, when he tried to force them to bow down to the idol, all right, or to bow down to that image that he set up, okay? When you heard the songs, all right, the instruments of the dulcimer, the sackbut, the psaltery, all right, then you're supposed to bow down to that image. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as everybody else in his province, was bowing down. You had those three men that stayed faithful to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And what they say to Nebuchadnezzar, they said, our power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, he has the power to deliver us from your bullshit ass furnace, man. All right? And if he doesn't, we still not gonna bow down to that image, man. So we gonna have that same, Lord willing, we gonna have that same spirit in these last days. You gonna try to force us to take that chip? And if you don't, or if we don't, you're gonna kill us. Hey, kill us. Either you're gonna kill us, we still gonna serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right?
It says, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth, man.
Right. And because in Revelations, the 2nd chapter, the 10th verse, it says, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Showing you that we're going to have to go through suffering. What does it say in Acts 14:22? Through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. So in Revelations 2:44, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, for the devil shall come unto you having great wrath. Or no, Salakia. I just mixed two scriptures. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, for the devil shall cast some of you into prison. That prison that it's talking about is the martial law camps, the FEMA camps. What they call them is re-education camps. Now, in those re-education camps, they're gonna try to put that RFID chip in you. And we read on in that chapter, it says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and receive a crown of life," man. So, Lord willing, we a part of that number. That's what we're gonna do when the devil try to cast us into these concentration camps and try to put that chip, because those are gonna be the main chipping centers. All right, these FEMA camps. All right, these Walmarts, they're gonna turn these Walmarts into FEMA camps, as you see them doing on the border. Okay. Turning these outlet malls, because when you look at the outlet malls, they got towers on the outside of them. Those are watch towers, man. Okay, and in those camps, they're gonna be chipping people.
Yep. That's why it said what? You're gonna stay upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in truth, man.
Yep.
Meaning what? Upon these words. This is the truth. John 17:17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So we must trust on this word, man. This is Isaiah 36:6. It says, "Lo, thou trusteth in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt." So all our people that trust in this system, that trust in this society, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's a broken system, man.
Yep.
It's a corrupt system, and you trust in it, man. Scriptures talk about our people trusting in oppression, man. Go ahead.
It says, "Whereupon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it." So when you think of a staff, you're thinking of a support, a stay. But if it's broken, what's going to happen? It's going to whoop. It's going to go into your hand, man.
Yeah.
And that's symbolically of you taking that chip, because you trusting in this broken ass society. It says, "So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." Now, when you go into this, the etymology of this word "reed," it goes back to the word "canula," and the word "canula" goes back into the instrument of what they use to insert that chip into you, man. You see? So it's no way around these prophecies, man. There's no way around the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. This is the truth, man.
That's it.
Like it says in the book of Peter, man, we have a more sure word of prophecy, so you do well that you should take heed. You know? It says to the day arise and the day star arise in your hearts. Who is that day star? It's talking about Yahweh Shai, man. The son of righteousness arising with healing in his wings, man. This is how we are healed. You see? To the fullness of Yahweh Shai is made up in us, man. You know? And that's why we continually do these lessons, continually to warn the people, continually edify, stand in the gaps to build up our brothers and sisters in the day of that battle, man. So they can be able to stand in their faith, man, when these things come. You see?
Just to say though, like y'all was saying, this system wasn't built to last forever, man. This system is meant to fall, man. All right, and that's what you see it now. Like with their Social Security, the money they run out of money in Social Security, the pension. This whole system is gonna fall, man. And now here they is trying to set up a new world order, and they think that's gonna last. But the Lord is about to come and bring forth His new world with order. That's what the Lord is about to bring, a new world with order. You know?
Right, as the scriptures say, it says that the Lord is going to set up a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. The so-called white man's new world order is going to be established off of wickedness. As when he came into rulership, all right, you had the first crime family called the Borgias, all right? They arose out of obscurity, okay? And when they came into rulership, wickedness increased. Going back to the time of the Greeks, the first empire, the so-called white man, which we read about in the book of the Maccabees, it says that when Alexander and the Grecians came into rulership, iniquities and evils was multiplied, man. So he's trying to, and a part of him coming into, a part of the Grecians coming into rulership. When you read First of Maccabees, the first chapter, when you read about Antiochus and Seleucus and Alexander and all these Greek rulers, what was his main goal to do? His main goal was to make everybody, all religion, amalgamate all the people. All right, so the so-called white man, the Edomites, all right, they have that same goal in these last days. They're trying to make everybody one. It says it on the back of their dollar bill, out of many, one, okay, in the Latin. All right, showing you that's the Roman, this is the Roman Empire all again, going back into prophecies, that his deadly wound was healed for a little moment. The deadly wound was talking about the Roman Empire being impoverished, but then it rose back up, okay, coming back in the form of America. That's why there's Latin everywhere, man. Okay, that's why in their law system they use Latin and Roman numerals. You know,
terms for doctor.
Yep.
You know, all the health terms are Latin.
Yep.
All the laws. You know.
That's it. Brothers got any more precepts?
And right now, they just trying to gradually implement that chip. Like at some of these jobs right now, man, you got to punch in with your finger. All right? So all they doing is trying to gradually implement certain things where you be more comfortable when they actually push forth this chip full force.
Yep.
All right? Right now, they just trying to get you to consent to it, you know? But it's going to be a time when it's going to be by force.
And they're doing it fast, too. Like, say for instance, it was probably about a year or two ago when they start putting that microchip into your debit card or your credit card. Now, when they first did it, you was still able to swipe. If you had that chip, you was still able to swipe. Now, when you go to swipe, you'll hear the machine make a noise like and then you'll hear the cashier say insert the chip. Okay. So then after so many times of you swiping and swiping and swiping, you get conditioned to just insert it, okay? And it's going to be the same thing. Now with certain credit card companies or certain banks, you don't even have to insert it. They have the technology where you just scan it, all right? Where you just, let's say this is the scanner, this is your card. All you do is scan it. You don't insert it, you scan it, okay? So they're getting closer and closer, okay, to putting it into your arm, man, to setting up that cashless society.
Yep. Hey, because like Pops got said, man, they gradually doing this, and it's a word that's associated to it. It's called gradualism. It says gradualism from the Latin gratis is a hypothesis, a theory, or a tenet, assuming that change comes about gradually, or that variation is gradual in nature and happens over time as opposed in large steps. So they doing this step by step, man.
Baby steps.
You see? Why? So they get you comfortable with it, man. So you can see and get used to it. Just like how they did the same thing with what? Homosexuality, man. They use gradualism to bring it out. They put it in the movie here. They put it in the movie there. They have a man wear a dress here, a man wear a dress there. And all of a sudden now it's just open. Now it's everywhere.
It's fucking everywhere.
You know?
Yep. That's it. Yep. You got more on that? That's it.
No, that was it.
You got anything else?
Did y'all bring out Revelations 12 and 12?
You got it.
This is Revelations 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwelleth in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And that's what Esau know, that he has but a short time. So that's why he about to push forth this RFID chip, man. Because this is his only resort into maintaining his rulership, man. You know, because his kingdom is falling, man. There's nothing he can do to maintain it and to keep it afloat. Because this place is going down, man. No, and he can't. Esau got his appointed time that he can't pass.
That's it.
You know, so hey, no, there's nothing he could do to overcome and keep staying in rulership.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, because the main thing that gave America its power was its currency, was the U.S. dollar that was being used as the petrodollar. The petrodollar in layman terms is you have to use the U.S. dollar to buy oil. Now you got a lot of countries like Russia, China, even some of these other smaller countries. They're rejecting the U.S. Currency as the petrodollar, and they're starting up their new new currencies that's being used to sell and buy oil. Okay, so that shows you that America is crumbling just by off the strength of the dollar, man. All right, how the value of the dollar is constantly decreasing, showing you that America is on its way out. It's a term called circling the drain. All right, like a piece of shit is what this world is what this country is, man. Okay, but brothers, got any closing statements? Any precepts? Con. And having that said, man, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Yahweh is the true, holy, powerful, and mighty name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the true, holy, powerful, and mighty name of His only begotten Son, which is our Lord and our Savior, Rakakodash. Give double honors to the elders of Israel, which is the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And Shalom Wahab Labakiyar Shaya Sharala, which is peace and love to the elect of Israel. Shalom, my brothers, keep on pushing.
Shalom.
Wow.